Hello everyone. I'm Margaret Seconet and welcome to Feng Shui for Health and Wealth. And today we're going to be continuing with what I have started last month. I know it's a bit late, but here it is. The rest of the Flying Star Feng Shui analysis of 2020. And I'm wondering, it's the end of February now, so what has 2020 offered you? So were you prepared for what was in store or for the first few months of the year? So we would like to have a lot of the support of the energies, of the good energies of the year, and of course avoid the bad ones. So let's discover what the year has in store for us. But before all else, I would like to also introduce you, or those of you who have actually taken my course, Feng Shui courses in the past, would actually have known that I stress on the three energies or three luck that we have, and I will expound a little bit here. So for those who have not actually taken my course or are not familiar with classical feng shui, this is basically some of the foundation, part of the foundation for classical feng shui analysis. Okay, so let's continue, and I will so what we have here, as I was saying earlier, we have three kinds of luck. We have the heaven luck, the earth luck, and the man luck, or people luck. So the heaven luck is yourself, knowing who you are. Your birthday would actually greatly affect on your character, your personality, your destiny, your fate. So that's the heaven luck. Now, earth luck would be your surrounding, your home, people that you surround yourself with, who you deal with, the areas around your house, your property. So that would be your earth luck. And man luck or people luck would be basically your actions, what you do with the knowledge that you have, what you do as being who you are, and what you do to further your ambitions and your goals. So that's the man luck. Now let's deal a little bit with the heaven luck at this point in time. This is your astrological destiny or fate. So who are you? In Chinese astrology, especially in the BAZI astrology, you have four pillars here. This is a BAZI chart, as you can see here, and each pillar represents an area in your life. So as you can see here, your year pillar will represent your network, your circle of friends, your social activities, even your appearance as well. So you have also next month pillar, which actually represents your career, your work, your business, your jobs, and also your parents as well. And the third pillar here is the day pillar, which is for yourself. Who are you yourself, your thoughts, your relationships with other people, with your spouse. This is all here in the day pillar. It represents yourself and your relationships. So the fourth pillar here is called the hour pillar, and it represents your ambitions, your assets, your investments, your health, as well as your children. So it's kind of in the future type of thing, right? So this is a BAZI chart, and as you can see here, a BAZI chart actually tells a lot about you and your destiny. who are you and what is in store for you. So let's get on to this is a sample of a person's natal chart or a person's BAZI. So as you can see here in the year pillar, this person was born in the year of the pig, the earth pig. So he has a yin earth pig for his year pillar, his or her. And this person was also born in the month of the tiger. Okay, and then he was born on the day of the monkey, as you can see here, and at the hour of the horse. So it's likely that sometimes we just think of Chinese astrology as just being how do you call it? It's just being 1 year. I mean, like we just look at the year and say, okay, you were born in the year of the rat, you were born in the year of the horse, or something like that. But as you can see here from this BAZI chart, a person can have more than just one animal sign in his or her natal chart. Like in this BAZI chart here, you can see that this person has the pig, the tiger, the monkey, and the horse. So there's like 4 animal signs in this chart alone. There are, of course, charts that has 1 or 2 animal signs. I've seen that. Somebody can have a dragon in all his year, month, and day pillar, and maybe a rabbit in the hour pillar, or coincidentally, somebody might also have all the pillars represented by just 1 animal. So this is a BAZI chart, let's say, of an individual, and based on your year of birth, the month that you were born on, the day that you were born in, and the hour that you were born at, you will have different animal signs for them. Now let's get on to another part of our video tutorial here today, is that of the year that we are in. We are in 2020, and it's the year of the metal rat. So as you can see here from this chart, each animal signs are given a specific directions, and likewise this is basically also represented in a luopan or a compass. Each animal will be given a specific direction. As you can see here, if we're looking at the year of the metal rat right now in 2020, as you can see here, the rat sits on the north. So it's on the north, and it has in front of it the south, and another animal that actually, as you can see here, when it's sitting like this, it's sort of a clash. Okay, so the horse is sitting on the south, and the rat is sitting on the north. So as you can see here, when there's a clash, it means like these animals are confronting each other. So as you can see here, then anybody that are born basically in the year of are born in the year of the horse are at disadvantage in this 2020 year, and because it's actually clashing with the animal sign of the year, which is the rat. And also, if you're taking a closer look at this chart, if you already know what animal sign you are, you can also see the animal that you are in conflict with or in clash with. Like the rabbit, it would be facing against the rooster, a monkey against a tiger, the snake against the pig, and the dragon against the dog, and the sheep against the against the ox. So as you can see here, the Chinese astrology has already mapped out the energies and the conflicting animals of that is that is in the chart. Like if you have a chart of a horse or a chart of a rat, you will already know the animal signs that are actually in conflict with you. Now let's look at the other factor that affects our destiny and our fate, which we mentioned earlier, which is the earth luck. So your home, your surroundings, your environment has a lot to do with how you actually deal with circumstances, how you actually approach things or solve your problems. And your home can also create that environment to help you or assist you in countering any of these challenges or problems that you have. So as you can see, that's why we study Feng Shui, because Feng Shui also gives you another advantage in that it clues you into the energies of the year. And one of these classical Feng Shui method that we have here is the Flying Star Feng Shui. So the Flying Star Feng Shui here would actually work with the 9 energies that is surrounding your home, and it has 9 flying stars. So let's get a little bit more concrete example here. Now this is about the chart for 2020, and you see that there's in this chart there's again the 4 pillars. So you have the year, the month, the day, and the hour, and you will see that each pillar, oh I forgot, there's also the 5 elements. We have to actually mention that, because the 5 elements take a very important roles in depicting or analyzing how the year is going to be, how your natal chart will interact with each other. So as you can see here in the year pillar, you have the yin earth on the heavenly stem. There's and the earthly branches is represented by the yang water rat. Okay, so here you also see the month has yang earth, and the earthly branch is that of the tiger. And the day pillar, you will see it's represented by the yin fire or ding fire, and its earthly branch is that of the ox. And as you can see here, the hour pillar it has the yin earth in it, and it's represented by the earthly branch of the rooster. Now each animal sign will also have their own element. As you can see here, the rat has the yang water as its element, okay, and so forth, so on. So you will see in this chart that there's a lot of earth, which is the output of the Din fire or Yin fire, which is represented in the day pillar. So it also signifies stagnation and sluggishness. It's just too much earth. So it's just, the economy will not be as active and as flourishing as you would like. The water industry, excuse me, the water industries will be very much affected this year. Metal, which is the wealth element, as you can see here from this chart, that's controlled by the yin fire in the day pillar. The metal rat is filled with clashes as shown in the year, the month, and the day pillars, representing a year of ups and downs and changes that could be both positive and negative. Well, in all this, there's a slight flicker of a light, and that is represented in the hour pillar here. As you can see, it has the yin earth and the yin metal. So it's the hour pillar that shines a little bit through the representation of the nobleman, which is residing in the rooster. So in the cycle of the 5 elements, wherein the relationship reacts to each other, the 5 cycle would actually be I mean, the 5 elements would be represented by these 3 cycles, which is the producing, the weakening, and the controlling cycle. We see that the metal element here is gaining a bit of strength, and there's an overwhelming amount of earth energy here. So thus, looking forward, the wood element might also be making a comeback in the following year, this year, and onward. So how do you prepare? By, when you know all these things, I guess it's by learning as much as you can, investing in yourself, developing skills that you need for to further your job promotion, and to enhance yourself. It's an investing of yourself that actually is key. And I think you've heard this so many times in the past from other people who are successful. So you also need to be like the year of the metal rod, be prepared to take on more challenging roles and challenges, and do more outside stuff that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, and make yourself indispensable to your company, to your job, and even to people around you. There are some things that of course you can control, and there are of course some things that you cannot control. But I'm sure that investing in yourself, learning more skills, is something that you can actually do for yourself. So, and in this time of challenge, like I said earlier, the metal rat would be a year of ups and downs. The economy might not be so great, and we're just starting with the year, so there might be even further problems and challenges down the road. So what do you do? So you just be ready to pick yourself up when you stumble, and brush yourself off, and just continue and do your stuff right there. So anyway, let's deal with the energies of the year, because now we're talking about our earth lock, we're talking about our home. Let us find out what kind of energies are surrounding in our homes this year of the metal rat. So let's get moving with the so this is the flying star chart of the year 2020, and I had done 2 videos earlier which talk about the number 2 illness or sickness star, which flies into the south this year, and another video on the number 5 yellow bad luck star, which flies into the east of 2020. I did that because I wanted everybody to kind of have that information at the start, so that you can actually mitigate or be a little bit more prepared, because these 2 stars are one of the more negative stars in the flying star, among all the flying stars. Okay, so there are other negative stars with negative energies, but like, if you haven't seen those 2 videos, please go back to those 2, please go and check out my YouTube channel site and find those 2 videos, because I won't be repeating what I have shared with you in those 2 videos. Okay, so let's get on to the other inauspicious stars, or the other stars that are actually emitting some negative energies for the year. Now, this is again the flying star chart for 2020, and we're looking at the number 3 star. So if you want to avoid hostility, arguments, or whatever, then please try to see if there's a major room in your north sector this year, because the number 3 jade star flies into the north sector, and it brings with it energies that can cause arguments, gossips, complications legally, or even lawsuits. So therefore it is best to avoid this troublesome area. Now if this is where you have your main door, remember to think things through calmly before making any rush or major decisions. Again, this is because the number 3 star is in that sector, which might instigate some sort of anger, or so avoid hasty decisions made in anger. Okay, and now if this is all your bedroom, is by all means try to not sleep in it. If you can find another room that you can actually sleep in it, then fine. Especially husband and wives, you might find yourself that you're quarreling a little bit more than you like. So again, this is the number 3 hostile or argument star. It flies into the north this year in 2020. So this is like a lot of people try to talk about cures and remedies, and this is more like a preventable cure and remedy. So you're already being told the number 3 star flies into the north sector. Now if this is where one of your major, especially your bedroom main door, then these are some of the tips that we're giving you so that you can actually avoid getting into more challenges and problems that you would not like to have. Okay, so well, the number 3 stars can be mitigated by putting something red in the area as well, but avoiding it would actually be a better option. Don't you think so? Anyway, so let's get on to the number 7 robbery star, which actually flies into the center of your home, and so everybody's kind of affected in this because it's in the center of your home, and it brings with it some discord, some disagreement, and as the name says, robbery. There's a tendency, so because this is in the center of the house, chances of having a main door here is of course very, very small. But it is best also if you have a room here that you don't use this room, or and to actually keep this area also clear. And another thing you could do, because the number 7 star is of a metal element, then you can actually try to mitigate this by putting bamboo, 3 bamboo in a clear vase of water to mitigate these negative energies. Okay, now the rooms that you're already frequently using, and if they actually if the bad energies or flying stars fly into those rooms, please, it is best not to use them if possible, or to work in another sector of your home. And okay, so let's get on to, I think we've actually touched on most of the negative stars right now. So let's move on to some of the auspicious or the good stars and where they are located in 2020. So let's see now. Now if you have an office in the southwest area of your home, that's pretty good, because the number 4 green star flies into the southwest sector of the year, and it brings with it positive energies for academic and scholarly pursuits, romance, and if you're a student and or someone who's advancing their career and continuing with some sort of education, of course you can certainly benefit from locating your study room or your office into this area in 2020. So as I mentioned earlier, it can also create positive energy for romance, because the southwest sector also governs the peach blossom star, and this is a great star for somebody who's trying to get into a serious relationship or finding a partner, and activate this area by of course just using this space more often, and or having your bedroom or office here. Okay, so that's the romance, number 4 romance, or scholars or education star, if you want to call it that way, flies into the southwest this year. Now let's get moving with some other stars here. So if you're looking for recognition or advancement in your career or work, now the northeast sector is where you want to be, where you want your study or your home office to be this year. And the number 1 white victory star flies into the northeast sector. That's why, bringing with it the good energies for self-improvement, enhance reputation, and improving your skills in communicating. So a main door in this location will greatly improve your chances of having opportunities coming your way. But if you have a bedroom here, that's great also. And always remember though that the only time that these great opportunities will bear fruit is if you work at them, or if you seize them, and keep your eyes open for them, and to actually work on it, and so that you can achieve your goals or have positive results. Now if you let all these opportunities pass you by, then of course there's nothing to be done with it. You've just let it slip through your fingers, right? So that's the number 1 victory star that flies into the northeast sector this year. Let's get moving with another good star, and everybody's of course looking for this. This is another one of the stars that, the wealth star. There's three areas in the house that could actually, you can tap on to create wealth, and more financial success. And one of this is of course with the number 8 star, which flies into the northwest sector of your home. So if you're trying to improve your finances and cash flow, then activating the northwest sector of your home this year will greatly help, right? In 2020, number 8 flies into the northwest area, bringing with its positive energies to this specific sector. Now activating this area, if even if your main door is not here, is can be done by just using it more often. Use it as an activity room or family room, or office, or gather more frequently in this area. And by doing so, you can actually benefit from its positive energies. As well, you can harness its energies by installing some more yang objects, as such as the TV or clocks, to the northwest sector this year. Okay, now let's move on to a few more other sectors that so not everything is bad this year. Like you have some areas in your house that you would need to be a little bit more aware of and to avoid, but there are other good areas in your home that you can actually use and tap on its energies to help you with your goals this year, and create a more comfortable life, or 2020. So if you're looking for more authority in your work, more career opportunities, then you might want to position your home office or desk or study in this sector as the number 6 white star or heaven lock star brings good positive energies to this southeast sector of your home. So it brings heavenly energies for recognitions and career progression. So if your main door is also in this area, it's highly possible you'll be given more responsibilities this year. And anyone in the business world might want to tap into the energy of this sector for potential business expansion, creating a brand, and even finding a business partner. So again, if advancement or authority, more power in your work is what you're looking for, then try to activate the southeast sector of your home in 2020. Now let's get moving to another of the the star that could actually, what we call is one of the other wealth star here, and this is the number 9 future star, or investment star, like some people would like to call it. Now this is looking into future advancement and opportunities. Consider, if you're looking into that, then consider using the west sector of your home to tap into the new opportunities in investment and promotions. The number 9 purple future star flies into the west this year and can of course assist you in your general overall happiness and career success. Now having a main door office in this sector suggests that you really look out for opportunities and not let them slip by. As you can see, number 9 is a future star, so you don't want to have any opportunities, good opportunities that actually come your way, be overlooked by you, or you just didn't notice it, right? So be on the lookout for it and do not let them slip by. And of course, if you want future advancement, tap into this sector of your home, use it a little bit more often, and if you have room there to actually utilize it as your office, then great, do that, right? So I guess this is again the 2020 annual Flying Star chart. We've actually touched on the 9 flying stars that are in your home this year. There are of course other important annual afflictions to watch out for, which also applies into the different sectors of your home this year. We have the Grand Duke, or the Tai Sui. We have the Year Breaker, the Sui Po, and we also have the 3 Killings. And we did mention the 5 Yellow, which flies into the east sector this year. Now in another video that I'll come up shortly, I'll be touching on those important, the 4 other sectors that you have to actually avoid using this year, or no major renovations, no noises, no digging, So anyway, let's continue this with the last part on knowing oneself, on the 3 lucks that we have, and this is of course the man luck. So whatever actions you do are going to help or not help you reach your goals. Okay, so a lot of the potential successes will have to come from you. It's not just going to be handed to you. You have to kind of work at it as well. So as you can see here, man luck is your own energies, how much you put your sweat and tears into it. You want that promotion, you have to work on it. Yeah, there is the possibility, let's say, of an opportunity coming your way. You have to see that opportunity. You have to know that it's there also. You have to have some sort of guts to say, I'm going to go for it as well. So this year might be a little bit more challenging, but as I said earlier, if you stumble, just pick yourself up and just be ready and do it. So how to be ready and is to invest in yourself, learn a lot more skills, or enhance your skill, or upgrade yourself, upgrade whatever skills you have and knowledge that you have. Make yourself indispensable to your boss, to your company. I know a lot of people are fearful of being laid off, but that's one of the key elements that you have to do, key factors you have to do, is make yourself so indispensable that they can't do without you, right? So this year, like I said, will be a little bit more challenging. So go and learn more skills, upgrade yourself, be ready to take on more challenging roles, be ready to volunteer as well, because in volunteering you can also learn a lot. There's the element of there's the social skill that you can learn as you volunteer. So the interaction that you have, if you're a shy person, then interact more with other people. You know, join a group. If you belong to a church, then join one of the church ministries. So there's a lot of ways that you can actually improve yourself, whether it's the area of knowledge, where it's social skills that you have to learn to enhance. Do that. Invest in yourself. You know, then you know, when you know more, then you are empowering yourself too, because you know that you can take on those challenges. If you know you have the skills and the knowledge to do it, you won't be afraid to turn down an offer. You know, it's like who said that? You know, even if you don't know the, how do you call it, even if you don't know the job well or whatever, just take it on. Especially if you're a quick learner, just take it on. I think it was Bronson. And you know, and learn as fast as you can on the job. You know, I've done that a few times. So anyway, so again, I'd like to thank you for joining me in this video session. I will be coming up with, as I mentioned earlier, the other 4 sectors of your home that you have to be a little bit more careful for, and watch out for. But I hope you had gathered a lot more information. I wanted to, you know, make this as easy as possible for you to understand. I know classical feng shui is a little bit confusing for most of you, especially if you're coming from practicing a new age type of feng shui, or some people call it fast food feng shui, or some people also call it the Western type of feng shui. So the modern age feng shui, I mean, and because it's different from classical feng shui, you know. So, you know, it can be confusing, but you know, I will enlighten you more. I am trying to package some types of courses and seminars so that you can learn this little by bit by bit, especially on areas where you really want to focus on. Let's say you just want to really know, not an intense dive into a course of classical feng shui, but just something that you can get by, so that you don't have to, you know, you're sure that you're doing the right thing, because you might be practicing the wrong type of feng shui. You know, it's not classical feng shui. If you want to learn classical feng shui, then learn classical feng shui. Okay? So anyway, I'd like to thank you again, and hope to see you in my next video. So bye bye for now.